I started my wildlife photography journey in March of 2022, and since the beginning, I have accumulated a lot of equipment. Most of it I have bought myself, but a couple of pieces I had gifted to me from someone who quit doing photography. At the beginning of my journey, I had no idea about equipment, what kind of camera would be the best, or what I really needed. I just wanted to photograph the animals I was seeing very often in the forest, and that's exactly what I did. I started off my journey using the Canon 2000D, a camera which I used solely for taking pictures when we went on vacation. And I used it together with a very old Sigma lens, a 28 to 200 millimeter. It was a lens that we just had lying around, and I was told it was around 20 plus years old. The pictures I got at the beginning of my journey still make me happy to this day. They are really bad pictures, but at the time I didn't really care. I just wanted to photograph the wildlife. After a while of doing photography, I realized with such an old lens, my photographs were not going to get better, so I got a new lens. I used together my 2000D and got myself a Canon 70 to 300 millimeter. I can tell you that when I first got this lens, I thought it was so big. I was so excited about it. I just couldn't wait to use it. With this combination, I took some of my favorite pictures to date. I absolutely love the photographs of the deer with the castle in the background. I show these to everyone who lives in my village because I'm just so proud of them. I think they're really special images to have taken. Also, a side note, I'm actually selling my 2000D. If anyone is interested, my email is in the description below. At some point, I decided I wanted a new body because I went to a photography shop and was talking to a professional photographer who basically said if I wanted better quality images, I needed a stronger and better body. I ended up buying secondhand the Canon 5D Mark III, and at the same time, I also bought the Sigma 150 to 600 millimeter contemporary lens. I only bought this when I did because it was on sale, so I got it for a really good price because the shop that was selling it was closing down. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have it because it's expensive. Of course, having an upgrade of my body and to a much bigger lens, I definitely feel like it gave my photography a boost. That doesn't mean having better equipment means better photography, but it definitely made my photographs have a better quality, and I also started to edit my photos at this point. Before this, I was just leaving them raw. Also, having a better system made me more confident to start trying to photograph more species, not just the deer all the time. I definitely feel like I get stuck on them when I'm feeling uninspired instead of trying new things. Bird photography is something I always feel not confident doing, and so I don't spend a lot of time practicing it because I never feel happy with the results, but I am going to start practicing again soon. I really want to improve my bird photography, especially small bird photography. At some point, again, I decided I wanted a newer body because the Mark III is an older body. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I actually do still use it sometimes, but also I'm thinking of selling it if anyone is interested. Again, my email is in the description. I decided to get the Canon R7 and I use it together with my Sigma Contemporary. If you're up to date with your camera knowledge, you might know that these two pieces of equipment are not compatible, and I didn't know this when I bought it. But even with the problems of the camera body and the lens together, I still think that I get some good shots with it. So I'm not worried about it. I did follow a few tutorials on YouTube how to maximize the settings and how to use them together. So I'm actually quite happy with the results. It does have a problem with pulsing of the autofocus on the body. A big problem I noticed with the Contemporary and the R7 together is If I have the contemporary just sitting at 150 to 200 millimeters, it's not pulsing, but if I put it full out to 600 millimeters, that's when the photographs come out very soft and very grainy. So that's the biggest problem that I've had. Two pieces of equipment that were gifted to me were a macro lens. It's an older lens. I have been experimenting with it and it's actually pretty good. And a light for my camera, which I have not tested out yet, but I think I'm going to test out once the darker days are here or in winter time. Some of you may be shocked to learn that I actually do have a tripod that I try as often as I can to forget because I am way too lazy to carry it around with me. So that is all the equipment I have currently as a beginner. If anyone is interested in buying the 2000D or the Mark III, you can send me an email. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week. Bye!